Hello my loves and welcome back. And if you're new here, then thank you for joining me and giving me a try. So today I want to talk about yoga straps. And back in 2020, I made a video all about alternatives for yoga blocks. If you haven't watched that, go and watch that because it's pretty interesting. I'll leave a link as well in the description. And what I thought was today was I'd give you some alternative to yoga straps. Everyday things that you might find around the house that you can use instead of a yoga strap. Now, caveat to this, I do recommend that if you are a regular practitioner of yoga, so if you're doing yoga at least twice a week, get the proper tools for the proper jobs. Get yourself some blocks and a strap at minimum. So my preference is for the 8 to 10 feet straps, which I will leave a link to in the description. So at the end of the day, if we're thinking about yoga straps, mostly, and there are exceptions, mostly we're using yoga straps to connect to the space between the hands and the feet. That is mostly their job. There are exceptions. They do have other uses, but this is the main use that people use them for, is this stuff, connecting the hands and the feet, either here or in standing. So this is the space that we're trying to fill today. What can we use to fill this space? So strap to one side, and I'm going to use the tools that I've gotten out, just that I found around my house. And the first thing is you don't really need anything. You don't really need any special tools or equipment. If all you're interested in is bridging that gap, then you already have the tools that you were born with, these things. If the hands don't reach the feet, they can reach your pant leg. You can grab a hold of your pant leg. You can grab a hold of a sock. Maybe that is what you grab a hold of. You can also use your sock the other way, take it off, take it around, and hold it here. That might be your yoga strap. From there, if you have leg warmers or stockings or tights, they work exactly the same way. You just loop it around your foot and hold. And I will say, I don't have any with me, but if you have like neckties, they make a great alternative for yoga straps. That's actually what I used for my classes for a good year before I invested in 40 plus yoga straps. The other thing that you can use are belts. Now belts work great because they have a little clasp and they're circular. So if you have wrist issues or grip issues, these are a great alternative. I highly recommend these. You can use them either clasped or unclasped, and then use them here for all of your stuff. Just bridging that gap between your hands and your feet. And if you don't have a belt like me, because you spend most of your life in yoga pants, use the belt off your dressing gown. This works exactly the same. I mean, it's basically like a long tie, right? All right, next up, speaking of neckties, it's going to be scarves. Regardless of whether yours is circular or whether it's long, they're both going to work to bridge that gap between your hands and your feet. The bonus is that these are nice and warm, so your feet will be snug too. Another option is to use a towel. Now, I've got a short one here, a little small one that I use for working out. All you have to do is roll it up or not. You can use it as is. And then you have your strap. Now, if you are a person that works out a lot, or you have active kids, you might actually have some stuff already around the house that you can use as a strap. And I'm going to choose a few here today. So the first one is a jump rope. And this is just a standard kids jump rope. So if you have one of these, or more aptly, if your kids have one of these, you can use this as a strap. Works exactly the same. If you have the bands, the resistance bands, they come either with the handles or in the little loops or as a big plastic stretchy band. All of those can be used as straps. And again, my preference is for the loops because they're just a little bit more secure when you're using them. Alternatively, maybe you have one of these, a Pilates circle. And I've done workouts with those here, including a review, I think. I'll leave a link in the description. But if you have one of these can also be used as a strap. Anything that's circular, this could also be a hula hoop. Now, if you find yourself somewhere and you still want to do your yoga, you still want to get your stretching in, you still want to do all of that, but you have none of all of these things, there is nothing. You can use the strap on your bag. Most yoga mat bags have straps on them. They're built into the bag. But you can use your strap from your handbag. You can use your strap from your camera. I'm like eyeing this one up right now on my camera. The strap from your suitcase. All you need is something to wrap around your foot and hold with your hands. It doesn't have to be a whole lot of fabric or material to it. And if push comes to shove, what you can use, and I recommend you use an old one, is an electric cord. Don't let any of these things near your children, but this does the same job. So push comes to shove, if you have an extra one of these lying around, use it. But make sure that you don't pull it too tight and ruin the cables inside. Caveat. Don't blame me for all of your broken cables. All right, so as I said, these are mostly tips for bridging the space between the hands and the feet. There are things that you do with a yoga strap that these are not going to be able to replace. But as a bare minimum for just bridging that gap, these are excellent alternatives. If you have any other alternatives that I've not thought about or found in my own house, then let me know down below. All right, my loves, I hope you found this useful. If you found it useful, then give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. And remember, my loves, that karma is only a bitch if you are. So be nice, be kind, and be the change that you want to see in the world. All right, take two. Now the mic is on and the camera is switched on. Okay, here we go. Oh. Because back then we thought it was all going to be, no, just rambling. Okay, back on track. Connect those two things, or not. But the other thing that you can use are belt. Which camera am I looking at? Oh, that's on inside out. And I've done, and remember my,